Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. So in this video, we're actually going to be installing something, a fairly small detail, but something that I think is going to make the car look better, just kind of tie everything in. It's a very small detail that not many people touch, bother with, but for me, and all the detail that I take with all my cars, I like to make sure I touch every little spot that I possibly can to make it my own. So after we get that installed and go over everything, I wanna go over mods that are coming in, other plans for this car, and kind of a little bit of an update as to my last few videos about what was kind of going through my mind at the time. So I apologize if you hear that noise in the background. The heater is on. It is very, very cold out. It's I think like 20 degrees right now. Outside it feels like 11, so pretty darn cold. Just turned the heater on in here. It's about 51, so it's not too bad. A little chilly for me, so I'm gonna let it warm up in here as we kind of go through the video. But what I wanna do first and get installed is actually something on the exterior. So I purchased a few things from a company called Carbon Culture. They were able to get me some really, really nice carbon pieces for the interior. So I recently did a whole video upgrading my OEM M2 CS steering wheel with a few bits from Carbon Culture. So we did the Carbon M1, M2 buttons. We also did their Carbon Start Stop button. And we also upgraded a few other things as well. Well, we ended up changing. We did the back plate on the back of the steering wheel because we had some peeling down here, which is an OEM piece. But we also did the BMW i8 resume and mode buttons over here. So as you can tell, they are black as opposed to the silver. And to me, the steering wheel just looks better. I don't like silver. I don't like chrome really. So upgrading to those OEM BMW i8 buttons was really nice. Plus I love the little carbon there. It kind of ties everything in and looks really good. I've been really happy with that change. But I ended up purchasing one other thing from Carbon Culture that I was looking for a very long time. So on my car, obviously, as you can tell, the E88s are the only thing that's silver. That is changing in the next 2 days, but we'll go over that in a little bit. But there's one thing on the car and the exterior that I wanted to get rid of. On the front of M3, M4s, the F8 chassis came with this little badge, this Grille badge. Now, as you can see, it is indeed chrome. I was never a big fan of the badging up front. It reminds me of my E46 days when people used to put those giant BMW chapter badges on their grille. It didn't come from the factory like that. That's something that they put on themselves. So it kind of reminded me of that. Granted, this one is much, much smaller. It doesn't look that bad, but the thing that bothered me the most is, as you can see, this is chrome. And on the trunk, on the rear of the car, we have a gloss black M3 badge that signifies that this is a competition F80 M3. So that is the only distinguishing factor, that this is a competition on the exterior. So if you're ever curious as to why some have black badges and why some have chrome, the black badges are the competition models and the chrome M3 badges on the back are the base models. So that is the only sign on the exterior that it is a competition. On the interior, you have different seats and a few other little things, but that is it. So it's nothing crazy. On the F8 chassis, that is when they started changing the color of the badges. But that is one thing that annoyed me. We got a gloss black M3 badge on the back, and up here, it is chrome. So I know it's a small detail, but it's something that bothered me. And if we look over here, Carbon Culture actually makes OEM gloss black front grille badges. So as you can see, this is handmade. It says remove and refit with care. So basically, they take an OEM grille badge, painted a gloss black, put the M stripes on there, and you can replace it. So I know it's a very, very small detail, but to me, that's what matters. Those little things kind of complete the car and tie everything in. And I know it makes sense right now with the 88s, but the new wheels coming in with the gloss black badge, it's gonna look so much better, tie in really well. So I wanted to get this installed. So really simple. This does come with some double-sided tape on the back of it. So all you gotta do is take that off, clean it up, and then stick this one on. So that is what we're gonna do. And then we're gonna go over a few things coming in, what I have planned, and also something that I'm trying to decide on. All right, so I don't have much room here. I would open the garage, but as I mentioned, it is really cold out. So we're just gonna do this with this closed. But as you can see, I just popped it off with some, what do you call it, fishing line. Just kind of pulling it off. Really simple, and then we're just gonna clean it up with some Goo Gone, get the remaining adhesive off. Now, when you're doing this, you don't wanna push down, you wanna pull, make sure the line is up because you don't wanna scratch the grill underneath. So you kinda wanna just pull up so you're not scratching anything, but can pull that right off. And we got a little bit of residue left, which actually I can just roll right off. I don't even know if I have to use any Goo Gone. But this is really easy to replace in the same exact spot because you just line the side of the badge here, and then 3 basically, I don't want to say about 1/8 of an inch off of that side. So it's really easy to line this up, whereas the trunk, a little bit harder because you can basically place it anywhere. This is way, way easier. So let me go ahead and clean this off, wipe it down, and then we can stick the new one on. All right, so we got the badge off. It's nice and cleaned up. No more residue, no more adhesive or glue. Just wiped it down real quick with some cleaner, and we're good to go. So here is a little comparison between the gloss black carbon culture one and the stock one. So as you can see, the exact same thing. They use an OEM badge, so it's the same size and it's not aftermarket. It's gonna last a good while, and we're not gonna have any issues. And kind of see on the back there, you can see the double-sided tape. So all you do is take it off and stick it right back on. So I think I'm actually gonna open up the door to install this because I'm at an angle going from the side and I don't want to install this crooked. So let me open up the door, freeze for 2 minutes, and get this on right. All right, so got the badge here. I'm gonna put the M first on. I'm gonna line it up with this angle here. So we're just going to peel it off, the little piece they got here. It's 2 separate pieces, so it's not like it comes off in one piece. It's already actually taking off the M backing, so it's got the double-sided tape. And carefully, we can place this on. Make sure there's nothing underneath. Line that up. All right, that looks good. Nice and straight. And we can stick that on. Okay. Now the 3 was, as I mentioned, like an 1/8 inch off. So we'll just kind of follow the same thing. Sorry if you guys can't see. I just want to make sure I'm focusing. So it's about right there. Make sure it's on straight. Like so. That looks good. And we're gonna push it down. Perfect. That looks awesome. And OEM. All right, guys, so there is a little bit better look. Sorry, the lighting is really harsh, but fitment is beautiful and looks fantastic. And the nice part is you can still see, here, let me turn this light off so maybe that's a little bit better. All right, so there you go. You can see the M badge or the M colors nicely on the grill, but the M3 blends in, so it's not so in your face. And for the kind of direction that I have taken my car, the darker look, I think it looks really, really nice. So, all right, so there is the Carbon Culture Gloss Black grill badge. Super simple, as you saw. Simply just peel the old one off, clean it up, and stick the new one on. Fits perfectly. There's no weird gaps anywhere, and it looks very, very nice. I'm really happy with that. So if you guys are looking to pick one up, highly recommend it. It's gonna tie nicely in with the new wheels coming in. So, all right, freezing my butt off. Let me close the garage and let's start talking mods. All right, so maybe there's a little bit better look with the door closed. The gloss black, it matches the grill's really nice. I'm really happy with that. That is sick. Such a small detail, but honestly, I think it makes the front end look so much better and gets rid of that chrome that I just do not like. All right, so let's talk some modifications. Let's talk what's coming in for the car, what I have planned, and also a little bit of an update from my last few videos. So first and foremost, what I have coming in, I kind of already talked about a few things, but I just wanted to go over them. I don't like surprises. I like to keep you guys updated, let you know exactly what's coming in for the car, what to kind of expect for videos. And for me, I enjoy talking about this stuff because I'm excited and I like to share that excitement with you guys and kind of take you along for the journey. So the next modification for the F80 M3, they're coming actually in 2 days, are new wheels. Now, you guys know I have talked about this in depth about the BBS E88s. I love these wheels. I think they're awesome, but I'm actually going to be selling these. They are for sale right now. I don't have to sell them, but it would be nice because of a reason I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But I do have some BBS RIAs coming. I got them in gloss black. I ordered them from Ron from AR Motorworks. It was a whole custom order because there was no gloss black available in the spec that I wanted. I ended up going back to the Falken RT 660s. I love that tire. I was a big fan of it on the TEs, so I knew I had to go back to those. I love the look of them. And the spec is really nice. It's really aggressive, very similar to my TE fitment. So it's gonna look really good, and it's gonna still keep that forged BBS look that I love. I love the E88s, but they're just not for me and not the direction I want to go with this car. I just much prefer darker wheels, darker color. And as we just did, the gloss black badge up front on the grille, it's going to tie in really nicely. And the new wheels will get rid of all the chrome and all the silver on the car. And I think it's going to look much better. So those are coming in 2 days. They're en route currently. And you know, we're going to be ceramic coating them, fitting them on the car, doing all the adjustments to get the fitment right. So those videos will be fun to do that, kind of dial things in and get that sorted. So for the interior, actually I already talked about this. I am waiting on a few pieces from MF Interior, Marco. I have quite a few pieces done by him in the interior currently. We're actually working on some dash pieces. We're kind of tying all the Alcantara in, and we were waiting for a specific piece to come in. They're kind of hard to find, you know, the exact one that I want. He actually has one in now, but it's not in the best condition, or at least the condition that, you know, we would expect. So we may wait for another one. So that is why it's taking a little while. But I've talked about this before. I think it's going to tie in really nicely with all the Alcantara. It's going to be really, really nice. I'm going to get rid of the carbon that I have in here, kind of making my own bespoke interior, if you will. Get rid of the carbon, make an Alcantara. It's just kind of me. That's kind of what I like. So we're waiting for those pieces to come in. And once they do, I'll obviously show you guys them in detail, installing and everything, and kind of the final look. So while we're still in the interior, I figured I would go over this as well. My car is modified. That's what I do with all of my cars. And when you do modify, you modify at your own risk. And the reason why I say that is because obviously there's tons of stories out there where people have done things and unfortunately their beautiful, beautiful car that they spent all this time, money, and effort on went up in flames or something went wrong and they couldn't save the car. So since the F80 is so special to me, I put a lot of time and effort and money into the car. I wanna make sure that I'm safe at all times, no matter what circumstance that I may be in. So OEM Extinguishers and I actually teamed up and we're going to be getting an OEM extinguisher, fire extinguisher in this car to make sure that I am safe. OEM Extinguishers actually provides OEM solutions to be able to install a fire extinguisher in your car, even with the stock seats. The stock seats, they actually have an OEM bracket that bolts right under the stock seat. It sits right here on the passenger side, looks really, really nice. But as you can see, I'm running the Recaro pole positions, so we have to look at something a little bit different. You do have a bracket to run on pole positions or aftermarket seats, but you actually need to drill into the bottom of the seat to put the bracket on. I didn't want to do that. I wasn't comfortable drilling into $2,000 seats. So I was talking with him and everything. We're going back and forth and we came up with a solution to be able to make a bracket that's actually going to bolt with the floor mounts and everything that I'm using, the side brackets on this seat. So I think it's going to be a better solution for us aftermarket seat people. That way we can just bolt it right up to the brackets and not have to drill into our very nice, expensive seats. And we're going to have a fire extinguisher at our disposal if we ever would need it. So I'm really excited to team up with them and get that installed in the car. It's going to look awesome. Of course, I went the extra mile and you can actually get it paint matched to any color that you want. I opted to go with mineral gray. I think it's going to look amazing in here. It's going to look really clean, but it's not going to have such a pop of color in here because as you guys can see, not much crazy color, so having a bright red fire extinguisher in here would look cool, but at the same time, I think it would look cleaner paint matched to mineral gray. So once that comes in, I'll walk you guys through the process, how it installs, but it's going to be installed right here. Very accessible. If I ever need it, I can reach right over, grab it, extinguish a flame if I ever needed to, and save my car if I ever ran into that situation. Now, another piece that we have currently are the Millway street camber plates. I've already talked about these before. I ordered these a while ago and they came in, I would say, I don't know, about 3 weeks ago. I waited quite some time for these because they come all the way from Sweden. So it took some time to come over in customs and all that. And also with the holidays, it took a while. But they are indeed in. As you can see, the other one's over here. This is the right side. So the reason why I haven't installed these yet is because I'm waiting for the new wheels to come in. And the reason why I want to wait for the new wheels is because I want to see how they fit before I install new hardware on the suspension, because as I mentioned, the RIA fitment is very similar to my TE fitment. And with the E88s currently, I would like to run a little bit more front camber and kind of dial some of that in for A, to make it fit a little bit better, but also to help with a little bit of the scrubbing that I do have on harder driving. It's not bad, but the camber plates will for sure take care of that. So I got these. I most likely will still install them, but I want to put the new wheels on first, see how it fits, and then go from there. But these things are really nice. Most likely I'll still end up installing them. I think it's something nice to have, especially with the coilover setup that I have, the KWV3s. Since I'm using the stock top hats, it kind of limits my adjustability. So putting these on will allow me to dial things in even further, make it not only look better, but also perform better on the street driving that I do. I don't do any track driving, so I didn't need the track or race plates. I got the street version for that reason alone, but really, really nice piece. I'm sure eventually I'll install them. As I mentioned, it's very, very cold here in New Jersey. It is wintertime, and my motivation to come out here and install stuff like this is not that high at the moment. Kind of taking a little bit of a break. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm modifying the car, doing anything crazy. Just kind of taking some downtime, getting the projects lined up for winter. But this is definitely something I'm going to be installing at some point, but we will see once the new wheels get on. All right, so last thing I want to talk about is this. So as you can see, this is the OEM hood that comes on an F8, M3, M4. It's a very good looking hood, but there's a better version out there, and that is the GTS or CS hood. I have been on the hunt for one of these, and I found one. So most of you are probably saying the CS and GTS are the exact same thing. They're actually not. Well, they do look similar on the outside, but when you look on the inside, there's a difference between the CS and the GTS. So on the GTS, you notice the 4x4, the carbon weave that goes through everything. It is completely through the entire hood. On the CS, I'll throw up a picture so you guys can see, on the actual cutouts for the actual structural integrity, the skeleton, if you will, on the cutouts on the inside, the twill doesn't go all the way through. Now on some of the CS hoods, you can actually see the twill very, very faintly, but on most of them, they're just black. So the actual twill is hidden in those little areas. On the GTS, the actual carbon weave goes all the way through everything. So that is the reason why I want a GTS and not a CS. So I was on the hunt for an OEM GTS hood. I was trying to find one in mineral gray metallics. Since the M4 GTS did come in mineral gray, I was hoping maybe I would come across a salvage one and the hood was in good shape, I could snag that. Or somebody was selling one off, I don't know. I was keeping my eyes peeled, but it got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try to find an OEM GTS at a good price, and if I could take it no matter what color. I found one. It's an OEM GTS hood in really, really good shape, but there's quite a few obstacles I have to jump through in order to get it here and get it on the car. There's a couple hoops that I need to jump through in order for this to happen. One, it's at a good price. The actual hood is at, a price that honestly is not that bad considering what it is. But the main issues with it, well, I don't say issues, but the main things that I need to pay extra for is one, where it's located. I need to have it shipped. It's actually around $1,000 to get this shipped to me from where it is. The reason is because of the packing and everything, and obviously it needs to go freight since it's such a large package. So it's a little nerve-wracking, $1,000. Obviously it would be insured, so I wouldn't be too worried about it because if anything were to happen, I can get my money back. But at the end of the day, $1,000 to ship something is a lot of money. So think of the cost of the actual hood plus $1,000. Second thing I need to jump through is that it is obviously not my color. Right now, it's in a similar gray. Well, I shouldn't say similar, but it's in the same gray family, but it's not mineral gray metallic. So obviously I would need to paint it, so I need to take that into consideration as well. So to prep it, get it painted and everything into mineral gray metallic, we're looking at another $1,000 or so, $1,100 to get that done. So right now I'm $2,100 over the cost of the hood. So we're getting up there in price. Thankfully, this hood comes with the accessories that you need to install it. So it comes with the OEM hood vent, comes with the GTS struts. It also comes with the GTS nozzles and everything that you need for the windshield washers, which is really nice because those things are $140 each. Granted, I can remove them from this hood and install it on the GTS one. These are actually pretty brittle and they're known to crack when you do take them out. So it's really nice to be able to just take this hood off, not transfer everything over, and just use everything on the GTS hood. So I have 2 fully functional hoods ready to go. So that is nice that that stuff comes with it. It actually includes the little bumper that the GTS comes with that fits right here. I can install that as well. You don't need to, but it is included in the sale. And the last obstacle I need to work around is that I wouldn't be getting it painted here. I would be actually getting it shipped to my shop, Auto Couture Motoring. I reached out to them. I was like, hey, listen, I have a hood, a GTS hood. It's not my color. Are you guys able to paint it and everything? And they were more than willing to do it. They have some great recommendations and paint shops that they use. So they got me some quotes and all that. So I would actually be having it shipped directly to them. But this is, I don't want to say the issue, but this is something else I have to deal with. Paint matching obviously is very tough. You want to make sure you do it right. So there was a couple options to do that. One, I'd bring the car there. They would do blending on the hood, fenders, and bumpers. I didn't want to do that because 1, I want to keep the factory paint as is. 2, pretty much the entire car is PPF'd. So in order to blend, they would need to remove a lot of the PPF. Then I would have to redo it. So that's another added expense that I would have to do. So I didn't want to do that. So what they can actually do to paint match is have the gas cap door. So I could actually send them this door. It pops right off, and I can send it to them. They can do a paint match, and they would do a really good job. But they said in order to get it perfect, they would much prefer having the car there. So I would need to drive my car up to Auto Couture, which is about hour 15, hour 20 for me, not too crazy. So they would have the hood there. They would bring it over to the paint shop, get it all done, install it. Obviously I have to go back up, pick up the car, and then have my truck trailing behind me with the OEM hood in there to take it home. So there's a lot of moving parts here with the cost of the shipping and then the painting and then any other little things that come up. You know, I'm kind of a little bit worried about the fitment with the Mishimoto charge cooler and everything with the carbon because it's a little bit different on the inside and all that. There's a lot of kind of things I'm going back and forth on this whole thing for. I know there's some aftermarket solutions, aluminum hoods that look really nice that ultimately give you the same look, but I really want that carbon twill underneath. I want that carbon weave, and you guys know me, I go the extra mile, and I want to make sure I'm doing it right. And the OEM GTS for me is just kind of the cherry on top. Plus I wouldn't have to worry about fitment issues and all that. So I'm leaning towards doing it, but at the same time, it's a lot of dough, a lot. And I'm not taking that lightly. I think about these things thoroughly, and I wanted to kind of discuss it with you. I know you guys are just gonna say do it because why not? You wanna see it done, but you know, at the end of the day, I'm really kind of 50-50 on it. Yes, I wanna do it, but at the same time, I don't because it's gonna be crazy amounts of money to get that done just for a hood. I know it looks amazing, and I know I would love it, but you know, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do here. I was hoping you guys could help me out a little bit, maybe justify it or not justify it if it's worth the cost of doing something like that because there is a lot of moving parts. And granted, it is winter time and the car's not being driven much at all. There's a lot of brine and salt on the ground right now. We're getting a lot of snow in the last few days. So I want to make sure that I'm doing it right. And I'm kind of hesitant on doing it just because of the cost and how many things need to get done in order to do it. Now, I understand things like this that take a lot of effort usually end up turning out amazing. I've been there before. I've been stressed about doing stuff like that. And at the end of the day, it turned out amazing and I loved it. So that's kind of where I'm at. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Should I go through with it? Should I put up the coin for an OEM GTS hood and get that done? I don't know. I'm kind of stressed out about it. I shouldn't be, but I am. And last but not least, you guys know that I have talked about selling this car or picking up a project car, an E92 M3 or an FL5 Type R. Talked about a few different options. And I think at this very moment, I think I'm gonna hold off doing anything. I think I'm gonna hang on to the F80 and wait for the right moment to go get a GT3. I think at the end of the day, that is where I wanna be, and kind of doing anything else, it's just gonna prolong that. And I don't wanna prolong it any longer than I need to, because if I can get it sooner than later, I'd much rather do that. And I'm still enjoying the F80 right now. I still do have a couple offers on the table, so I don't know where it's gonna go. I'm still just gonna enjoy it and do what I want with it and, you know, enjoy it while I have it. I think at this point, I'm gonna put my head down, enjoy the F80, still continue to modify it, do what I want to it, and enjoy it while I have it. And then when the time comes, you know, sell this off, get a GT3, and just go for that. That is what my mindset is currently. It may change tomorrow, but I've had a lot of time to think about it. And I know a lot of people were telling me to kind of do that as well. So I think I'm actually gonna take those people's advice and just chill out a little bit in terms of getting something new and, you know, moving on to something else other than a GT3. Because moving on to something else right now that's obviously quite a bit cheaper would ultimately give me that instant gratification feeling, but it's still not gonna be a GT3, and it's gonna make me feel further away from obtaining that goal. And hanging on to the F80 for now, enjoying it, and then kind of getting more experience out of it. And then moving on to the GT3, I think is gonna be better in the long run. That's also another reason why I'm considering the GTS hood, because I don't know how long it'll keep the car for, and I don't know. As you guys can tell, I'm still up in the air, but I think that is the best route to go. So yeah, that is gonna do it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know we talk a lot, I know we go over a lot of things, but I enjoy doing that. It's therapy. It allows me to kind of get out of my own head, discuss what's coming up for the F80, what I have planned, and you guys can help me decide on this whole GTS debacle, if you will, if I should do it or not. It is a lot of money, there's no question about it. But we have taken this car above and beyond, and it's amazing. And I know the GTS hood would look amazing on here and kind of complete it. But at the end of the day, should I do it? Should I invest in it? Should I go the extra mile and go for the GTS hood and go through all the hoops that I need to go through to get that done? I don't know. But we got the new wheels coming, we got the camber plates, we got a few other tidbits coming, like the fire extinguisher. We got some interior stuff from MF Interior that's gonna look really nice. We just finished up the carbon culture stuff up front there with the gloss black grill badge, which looks really, really nice. So that is gonna do it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know about this hood. Should I do it or not? Should I invest? Should I put the money out to get this done? I don't know, I'm back and forth, we will see. I know I seem very indifferent these days, but that is what I do. That is what goes through my mind. I am a car guy after all. And I know you guys can relate to that. So if you guys have any questions at all, be sure to ask them below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.